Just be creative. Like, this is the best thing I've ever created in my life. Look at this. Like, I did it. I did it. I created my first anabolic food. Like, even the pancakes that I showed wasn't really my invention. It was just somebody else's anabolic invention. I just made a little bit of amendments. But this one, I can proudly say it's mine.
Yo, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy, MK for Life Supports, Dvir Israel. Welcome back to my channel. As you can see, I'm not in my tiny apartment, I'm in my parents' house. It's beautiful here. And today, we're going to witness one of my best anabolic recipes I've ever made. No bake, low calorie, anabolic cheesecake. Let's get into it. So of course, every championship team needs a good starting lineup. So let's have a look at our lineup today. Coming all the way from Greece, Greek yogurt. Here we have 300 grams. This is going to make sure that our cake is going to have volume and taste, and it has 0% fat, which makes it more perfect because it's low calorie. Over here we have our friendly local neighborhood cream cheese, 5% fat and 200 grams. This is going to make sure that our cake is going to have a solid texture and not going to break down too quick. So yeah, it's a very important player in this lineup. One of our main stars, which without it, it's impossible to make cheesecake. So 3% fat cheese. And yeah, this is gonna be a little bit late to the party, and soon you'll understand why. But yeah, it's very important, so we need to be accurate with this. So yeah, cheese, 3%, 500 grams, not really much to say about that. Right here is our #1 superstar, which is going to make sure that our cake remains anabolic, which is my protein powder. I'm using cookies and cream. If you want to make it more cheesecake friendly and more original taste, you need to make it vanilla, of course, but I like this taste, so I'm going with that all the way. And right here we have 3 of our X Factors coming off the bench. Biscuits, this is gonna be used for our base and our toppings as well. Gelatin, which is gonna make sure that it has a little bit more shape to it and not gonna break down too quickly. And vanilla extract. This one is straight from Mexico and it's 0 calories, so it's pretty awesome. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to weigh 10 grams of gelatin. So this is exactly what I'm going to do here. We have 162 grams in this bowl. So if we pour in the gelatin powder, it's going to come up to 172. And you really want to make sure that you're mixing that with 60 milliliters of water. And I'll soon measure that, so I'll see you there. Okay, the reason I'm making these measurements extremely accurate and I'm spilling it slow inside is that you really need to know how to work with gelatin. You don't have to be a real expert, but you need to be accurate. So after you pour in the water, you need to mix it. So I'm gonna give myself a teaspoon real quick. And just let it mix a little bit so you'll make sure that it's broken down. Just like that. It doesn't have to be fully broken down, but give it a good minute stir. After you mixed it, you let it rest for 25 minutes and then it's gonna become hard jelly. So that's what you're looking for. So the first 3 ingredients we're gonna get into the mixer, and it's pretty important to do this in that order, is the Greek yogurt, the cream cheese, and the protein powder. So we're gonna get them in real quick. One and 2. We're gonna lower it down and we're gonna let it mix on high speed. It's fairly important that we use it on high speed, otherwise it doesn't mix well. Of course, in the middle you want to stop and clean it up a little bit from the sides, and I lost focus. My camera is a freaking genius. Oh, there you go. This autofocus is disastrous, unfortunately. Now for our next part, the cheese comes in, and after you get it inside that bowl, you need to mix it on low speed because you don't want to lose that texture. So let's get that in real quick. Now that the cheese is in, we can start mixing it slowly. Just like that. As, of course, for our flavor, we're gonna add vanilla extract, so we'll do that in the middle. Doesn't really matter when you do that. Vanilla extract, 1 teaspoon. I'm measuring it with this cup, so we'll get that in real quick. And just let it mix, just like that. After we're done mixing, we'll let it rest for a while, because we are not done, believe it or not. We'll be back to that. Now we need to build our base, and we're gonna use the biscuits for that. So you take 3/4 of the biscuits, so around something like this, the rest of them you take. And this will be left as the topping, so we'll do that. We're left with 3/4, so let's just pour them in. Now they're in, so we're gonna use low speed to begin with, so let's go. Now the second mix you wanna go for a little bit higher speed, so. After we have our base ready, just take it off, take this out, that, and put it inside our base. So there it is. So we just pour it in, all of it just like that. And just simmer it to make sure it's evens itself out. And I'll show you a cool trick on how you can make that stick, because most people use light butter, but I have a better trick actually. This is gonna be the genius part of the video. So here's the cool trick of the video. Here I have 200 milliliters of water, and I'm gonna use a scoop of protein powder right here, and just close it up like this, and let it mix. So I'll mix it, and I'll come back right to this base right here. Now that we've shaken that, we pour a little bit inside, let it simmer around the sides. The first part, now you want to make sure that you spill a little bit, and then you take a tablespoon and start mixing it. So now if you see it's a little dry, then you can spill a little bit more, just like that. Just keep mixing it. About 200 milliliters of water mixed with the protein powder is usually the way that it goes. So let's make sure I don't miss anything. After you mix the batter, it's time to get a little bit dirty. Rather do it with your hands wet, you want to start playing with it and evening it out inside to make sure it covers the whole base. Just like that. This is perfect. That's the way that they should look. If you don't put in enough protein shake in there with the water, it becomes too hard. If you put too much, it becomes too liquid, and it's not going to be a good base to hold the cake for. So this is very important to do, and it's a really cool trick that I found for myself. It was a gamble, and I'm happy that the gamble worked. If you want any anabolic recipe to work, you need to gamble. So yeah. That's what it needs to look like. All right, 25 minutes have passed and our gelato has become hard. So what we want to do is we want to put it in the microwave for exactly 10 seconds, not more than that. You need to be accurate with the gelatin. So if you see that after 10 seconds it's not dissolving, try again, just for a couple more seconds. Let's see how it works. Perfect. That's what it needs to look like. Now for the next part, what you want to do is you want to take about a tablespoon of cheese, put it over here. So even 2 tablespoons would be good. And then you pour in the gelatin. Mix it up all together, make sure it's dissolving, just like that. Don't be too worried if it smells a little bit, because it's really not that bad. And then after that, mix as well, you pour it back into the bowl. So we're gonna do that. And then pour it back in, let it mix on low speed. And the smell is gonna go away, trust me. Now, while we're mixing the cake for about a couple of more minutes, what we're gonna do is we're gonna mix these biscuits. So I'm gonna put it in right here, high speed. We're gonna let that mix. Okay, now that our batter is finished, I'm just gonna take that and we're gonna pour that right into our bowl mix, just like that. see it's not coming out real perfect, then use a spatula to take out the rest, which is what I'm gonna do here. If you excuse me real quick. Use a spatula to get out all the rest. And then once you got it out, what you wanna do is you wanna even it out a little bit. So you wanna play with it. Just like that. Work with it like a painter. Just make sure it's evened out properly. And this is the best base for the cake that I'm using, with a spring to make it lock in place. So after we open it up, it's gonna keep a nice round shape. It's gonna look good for the camera, so that's pretty much very important. And now we just pour in biscuits on top. Now for this part, you wanna be a little bit Salt Bae. So you don't just wanna pour it inside like a barbarian. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take a little bit of these biscuits over here. I'm just gonna sprinkle them around a little bit. You're gonna do that until everything is on the top of your cake. So it's basically something like this. Now my hand is extremely big. I guess that's what happens when you're 6'3", 191 centimeters. So it's kind of hard for me to get it in. It's just stuck. It's funny. And for this last part, I'm just gonna pour it in a little bit around here. Make sure it's even around here, over here. If you see it's not completely even, you can just even it out with your hand. Just like that. And now I can just put aluminum foil on over it and just put it in the refrigerator, which is exactly what I'm gonna do. So if you'll excuse me. And just like this, cover it real nice. And this bad boy right here is going into the refrigerator. And you just leave it overnight, then you open it next morning and you'll see deliciousness smiling to you every single morning. This is basically my breakfast from now on. It's genius.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, my hair is no longer slicked back and I'm wearing pajamas, so yeah, I left it overnight in the fridge. You can leave it for 4 hours if you want to, but I'd rather do that. I think the best time to actually make this cake is during the night. Let it sleep overnight, then wake up in the morning and have that every single morning. So there it is, that beauty right there. I was looking for so many different recipes and I couldn't find anabolic recipes for no baked cheesecake, and I just decided to invent one myself by looking at this pastry chef called Karine Goen. I was actually basing my recipe on her cake, but I just made amendments and I made a little bit of changes. So if you really want to create the best anabolic recipes, just be creative. Like, this is the best thing I've ever created in my life. Look at this. Look at this. Just a thing of beauty. Yeah, that's right. Focus on that, camera, not on me. I'm not important right now. Like, I did it. I did it. I created my first anabolic food. Like, even the pancakes that I showed wasn't really my invention. It was just somebody else's anabolic invention, and I just made a little bit of amendments. But this one, I can proudly say it's mine. It's mine, it will forever be mine. I'm sorry, I just have to eat this. It's so good. The totals for this cake come up to about 2,400 calories for the whole cake. And it's pretty awesome because you can have 6 pieces of those, which are 400 calories each. Like, for me, it's gonna be this morning on Saturday. And it doesn't really work Sunday till Thursday. So from Sunday till Thursday, I have a piece each week. So I have 5 left. This is actually a smaller piece just for the video, but you can make it a lot bigger. Like, this is right now, this is basically what I took from the cake. And it's nothing, like, it's crazy. And I dropped my fork. I'm losing focus. It's so awesome. It's just, wow. I think I could have kicked back with the biscuits a little bit. Maybe I'll experiment with that, you know, just to decrease the calories and see how it works. Or maybe not, you know, 2,400 calories for this whole cake is actually pretty awesome. You know, I think I'll live with that. 400 calories in the morning as a breakfast, I think it's a good amount of protein and calories to start off your morning, so cheers to that. If you notice, there's a little bit of fat in this cake. I think it's best that way, because once it's a no-bake cake like this, you really need a little bit of fat just to hold it together, because I don't think the gelatin is going to be enough for it. So it's a nice thing to have the gelatin, but it's not going to be like the perfect thing that holds the cake together. You still need a little bit of texture. So don't be afraid to use products that have a little bit of fat in them. Not everything has to be 0% fat. That's number one. Number two, we don't live in the United States, so we don't have the abundance that they have over there. I mean, it's crazy. You can just live an anabolic lifestyle without any worries. The rest of the world, we have to figure things out. So Prime Minister of Israel and other presidents and prime ministers of the world, take notes from the United States and Canada. We want fat-free mozzarella. We want fat-free cream cheese. We want fat-free everything, okay? Please, if you're watching this, guys, please bring it to Europe and Israel. Prime Minister of Israel, if you're watching this, whoever it's gonna be in the next couple of years, please bring fat-free products to Israel. So, if you like this video, make sure to like it. Make sure to click the subscribe and bell button. It's gonna pop right over here. And comment down below if you tried this recipe. Let me know how it went out. If it didn't go well, let me know what went wrong. I'll try to help you out with this. And comment down below what else would you like to see. And that's it. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.